Welcome to another mind-bending episode of Breakout Creator. I'm your host, Dominic DiTanna. Today, we've got a special guest who's making waves in the magic world with his incredible Rubik's Cube tricks, Steven Brundage. Steven is a master of illusion who's wowed celebrities at private parties, left judges on America's Got Talent speechless, and dazzled audiences with large-scale shows. He's a true innovator in the world of magic, and I'm excited to uncover the secrets behind his mind-blowing journey. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be amazed as we dive into the journey of a breakout creator with Steven Brundage. Are you considered one of the best Rubik's Cube magicians in the world? Is that correct?
I know a bunch of better ones.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You just don't know them.
I don't. No, I don't. But I saw on your profile, you're like number 3 magician on America's Got Talent.
Okay, that was from Watch. You know Watch Mojo?
No.
So I'm a big fan of Watch Mojo. They do all the top 10 lists.
Okay.
So they have like thousands and thousands of top 10 lists. So they do the top 10
Yeah.
magicians, top 10 actors, top
Right.
10 movies, top 10 anything, top 10 you could think of, top 10 animated shows. They have a top 10. So they listed me as in the top 10 magicians on America's Got Talent.
Dang.
So they and I love them. So when they featured me, I was just like, I put number 3 because that's what they gave me on the list.
That's amazing. I noticed, actually, I went and got your YouTube video from that time. You have a video online on YouTube with 90 million views. Well,
It's going to get to 100 soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's cool.
It's not on my channel. It's on someone else's channel.
It is on somebody else's channel.
Which is
What
cool.
the heck? Who is this?
Because I don't think I could even get ad revenue from it too. But it's
Magic is so fascinating and it like totally takes your attention.
You know what's a fun fact about
What is
this
it?
trick?
Yeah, tell me.
So this trick, I did it on 3 different TV shows, and everyone chose the 6 of diamonds. Steve Harvey chose it, Reba McEntire, and Michael Strahan all chose 6 of diamonds.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
No way. What do you mean you don't know?
I'm saying all 3 different people chose the 6 of diamonds.
I heard you, but
Free choice.
no way.
Free choice. They can choose any card they want.
And they switch it and whatnot, you know?
They all chose the same card. And if you look at it, they have multiple choices. I didn't tell them to choose anything. None of it is set up. None of it is, and you might think like, oh, he told them to choose it. It's like, no, it's that wasn't me. That's like, I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's wild. That's completely insane.
Well, it's also funny is whenever I do the trick again and someone also chooses 6 of diamonds, I get to tell them everyone chooses a 6 of diamonds.
Has anybody not chosen this?
Yeah, people don't choose it all the time, but
Really?
yeah.
And it still works?
Well, I've done 100 of times, so people always choose different cards every time.
So it makes me frustrated sometimes.
It's not funny.
Magic.
Because I actually didn't know that they all
Yeah.
chose the 6 of diamonds until years later when I look back on it.
Wow.
I didn't notice it until like 3 years later. I look back and I'm like, oh, they all chose the same card.
Oh,
funny.
Nobody else even noticed? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see now. It's just like multiple seasons, or I guess
More episodes.
How does it work?
It's
by
just
the way?
rounds, like different rounds.
So, but it's like weeks apart, or what?
Yeah, every round is a different.
I actually don't even watch.
They start with
Yeah.
a bunch of people, then it just goes down and down till you get to your top 12, the top 20, top 5.
Anyway,
Well, you can see this one. This is kind of a fun little.
let's see this, bro.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah,
Look at his face.
the same face as him. You had a Rubik's Cube in your hand, unsolved. You throw it up and catch it, and it's solved.
It's so long ago. It feels like it was such a long time ago too.
You know what's amazing though about the internet? It's like that could have been today. It could.
It was a while ago, but
Yeah.
it's fun. Yeah.
And you just threw it to Howie, and he just caught it, and it's solved.
Yeah.
Look at him, dude. He's such great expressions. That's cool, man. How long have you been doing Rubik's Cube magic?
I've been solving the cube. I did it when I started when I was probably 12.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I started magic when I was like 6,
Okay.
5, 6, 7. And then I did my first ever Rubik's Cube trick when I was 20 something, maybe 22.
So you were about 5, 6 when you got into magic?
Yeah.
How'd you get into magic?
My mom actually bought me a book. I actually have the book that she bought. This is not the same book.
Okay, yeah, let's see it.
I think she got it. Oh, it was that book.
That's okay.
She got it from, I think, Barnes & Nobles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it say? It says the Practical Encyclopedia of Magic?
Yeah, so it's Nicholas Einhorn, but it's all like, it's really fun because it's all just big illustrations.
Yeah.
So it's all just like simple descriptions. They show you like, here's a trick with matches. Here are tricks with ropes. Here's a trick with just your hands. You don't need anything but your hands to do the trick. It has a cool section on the history of magic. So when you go through, they talk about like the very first magicians that brought magic from the streets into the parlor setting. So
Okay.
Like Robert Houdin, where he then did the trick. He's a watchmaker, but he made magic prestigious.
Yeah.
And then he just goes through like Houdini, magician's equipment. You have your cards, you have your little mats, silks, cups and balls, ropes, strings, and the history of magic. They go through all the different magicians who have, done different tricks, the different books, publishes, all these well-known magicians, and they start going into simple tricks.
Wow.
Yeah. There's dozens of tricks in there that I could get people freaking out running around the room. Still.
Still.
Like I do the same tricks in there, same reactions.
What's your favorite trick in that book?
I did a trick years ago where it's like a setup trick. So you do the trick and then everyone thinks the trick goes wrong.
Right.
So you do it and you finish and you're like, that's your card. And they're like, that's not my card. And I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, it's not. And then they flip it and it's like, oh, that's your card. And people freak out. But when I did it, when I first started, I was still like a little bit nervous and I was naive towards it. So when I was more naive, people, they ate into it more. They believed it more. Because when I messed up, they were like, oh, he messed up. And
right.
They feel empathy. They pity you. But a part of them also feels good when the magician messes up.
Oh, totally.
There's a group of people that when you mess up, they feel bad. There's a group of people when they mess up, they like it.
Yeah.
They like seeing the magician fail. Everyone's like, oh, and then when you get them, they're just like, oh, you dirty. You were tricking me.
You got me.
Like, oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you experience a lot of hecklers?
It's weird. Yes and no. Like some comedians like the hecklers. Like some want the heckles because that they do crowd work. So it's fun. They don't want too much. Like if you have a girl that's drunk and screaming nonstop or a guy that's belligerent, and he's not actually adding stuff. Sometimes you get a good clip, but also you just want to do your set. You want to do the material you're working on. Right. If you have new material and someone's interrupting you, can't work on your stuff. So as a magician, I've had heckles all the time. I have a choice to totally ignore them. Like there's this one guy I was watching a clip of myself where the guy heckles me and I totally ignore him. I didn't even acknowledge him and I just continue the trick. But if I want to, I could also stop everything and direct him, but also then it loses attention from the trick.
Was that at like one of your large stage shows?
That was a small corporate, like maybe 30, 40 people at like a corporate banquet, just like people gathering. But then bigger shows, usually if there's a massive crowd of it, if there's 500, 1,000, 20,000, no one's really going to heckle because they're, Yeah. And if they yell out, someone might laugh. But usually like I've done these big, shows where it's 15,000, 18,000. What? 5,000 people. And then no one says a thing. Wow. Yeah. I started doing halftime shows.
What?
Yeah. I did. I'm doing college halftime shows and also NBA shows here and there.
Wait, right now?
Yeah. Well, not, yeah. Book them, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What are you doing at like a halftime show?
I haven't posted any of the clips. I have all these clips of me doing shows, but I haven't posted any. I have like,
Dude. You got to release the clips.
I remember I posted a clip of me years ago, and then a magician commented saying that your act is good enough to steal.
Ooh.
And not in a bad way, but the thing is, like, I've done enough for my acts where I've had people copy my acts verbatim. Yeah. So not just the tricks, but also my jokes, the lines, everything, where they just copy and paste. Which is magic is a lot of done through that. You see and you learn and you try it, but it also helps to put a twist on it. So, but for me, I don't mind posting them, but also like I have little reels of it where if I want to, I could send my reel to a client saying, "Hey, this is kind of the theme. This is what you want." And yeah.
Have you ever had like the client be like, "Oh yeah, John just sent me the exact same routine"?
So the act that I do, like I'm friends with a lot of other magicians, so a lot of other people do magic with Rubik's cubes, just like card tricks. Lots of people do it. Yeah. But everyone has their own take on it. So everyone does it differently, their own unique way. Okay. So, but I've had times where, like, for example, I did magic at it was either bar or bat mitzvah in New York City, and then the day before I was on the Today Show doing magic, and I'm doing magic for the lady, and the lady sees the Rubik's cube magic, and she's like, "I saw someone do that yesterday on TV." Yeah, the mother literally said, she's like, "Oh, I saw someone do that same exact trick yesterday on TV." And I'm like, a part of me inside was like almost like giggling a little bit. I was like, "Yes." Do I tell her? No. Part was like, "Oh, was he good?" Oh,
what did she say? What did she say?
I think she thought he was better than me.
Oh, great. That's awesome, man.
I thought that was so funny. I was like, that's like a pretty fun,
cool case of serendipity too. Man.
She's like, "I saw that yesterday." I'm like, did he suck? I started talking negative, like, "Oh, probably really wasn't very good. He wasn't very good looking either."
It'd be great. She like backs you up and she's like, "No, he was amazing. He was so good. He had an awesome, cool jacket like you."
Should learn from it. Yeah. It's like, maybe I should.
So you've been practicing magic for, how old are you now?
31. I'm turning 31. No.
Yeah, next week.
I'm turning 32. No, am I 30 or 31 or 32?
I don't know how old. I don't know.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know what I am.
No.
I don't know if I'm 31 or 32. I think I'm going to be 32.
What were you last year?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to guess you are 32.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 31
It's the pandemic. It's COVID's fault. It makes everything. We lost a year.
Let me see. I actually don't. Is that good that I don't know because I'm not like caring about it too much?
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
I can't believe
I got a friend that kind of thinks that we're infinite.
We're infinite beings?
Yeah. I always ask him how old he is. He says,
we're
infinite.
Eternal souls.
Yeah. Shout out Eric Howe. Yeah, he always says that.
He says eternal souls?
Well, he says, how old am I? He says I'm infinite.
Infinite.
Yeah.
So you're the infinite reflected in the finite.
Dropping some knowledge.
Hey. I think I'm
I mean, what year were you born, Steven?
1991.
Okay, so you are 32.
I'm turning 30, but I'm 31 now.
Yes.
Because when I think of how old I am, I'm 31. But my birthday, I'll be 32, which is
A funny clip.
because I didn't.
Right.
Because I celebrated my 31st birthday, but that was like I did a big birthday party where the year before I didn't really do much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's funny. That's a first. Okay. I want to, so normally when I have creators on here, I want to talk about your journey of like what has happened in your past 20 years of your life now that since you started learning magic. What was like your steps to becoming a content creator with 800,000, followers online?
So I actually never wanted to do magic as a career. I mean, I did it because I like doing it. So I did it for friends, family. I did it in high school all the time. I did it in college, but I never got paid to do it. But I did it because I loved it. And my mentality always was I'm going to go with the flow. So I never said, this is what I'm doing. I said, I'm just going to go with the flow. So whatever it takes me, I'm just going to let it take me.
Did you go to college?
Yeah.
What'd you go to college for?
I went for 5 years. I switched majors like 5 times. So I never actually graduated.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, same. But
I started computer science, information systems, sports management, business administration. I kept on switching. So I couldn't actually, after you take a computer class, then you switch your degree. So it's useless for the next degree.
Right.
So I switched so many times, and I went to a 4-year school down in Virginia, went to Liberty University.
Yeah.
And then I went to a couple 2-year schools, and I was so close to getting my degree. And then I started doing the magic, and I started like, I'll just do this.
Was it like a long break between when you were first learning magic and then when you were in college?
No, I mean, no. So the thing is, there's phases where it's like sometimes I'll do it every single day. Sometimes I'm practicing 10 hours a day.
Wow.
Nonstop. And I'm doing shows, and it's like, that's all I do. And then every now and then, like during college, I would maybe take a couple months where I didn't do any tricks at all. But I was still actively like having friends and doing stuff and being, playing basketball all the time. But then it really depends on what you're doing,
What were you doing for work at that time? Like, were you doing magic for a job?
No, I was giving plasma.
Wow.
When I was in college, like,
Yeah.
I just give plasma to make some money.
Dang.
I get paid like $70 a week to go twice.
Dang.
But then, and then I went back. During the summertime, I worked for a marketing company in upstate New York. And then all of a sudden I booked my first ever magic show in the street where I made $100, $150 or something. And I made $80 in tips.
What do you mean you booked yourself a magic show in the street? Were you like,
so it was
busking?
It was in Glens Falls, New York. It's Take a Bite Festival. So like people go to all the restaurants, and there's food, and then there's street performers, there's musicians. So I think that you get paid $100, whatever.
Sure.
And I made $80 in tips that day. So I made $200 that first ever time ever doing magic. And a kid who just dropped out of college, I was like, I just made $200 in about 2 hours of work.
Right.
$100 an hour. And
Yeah.
I'm not working a lot, but I was like, oh, that's actually not bad.
Yeah.
So I just started street performing. I literally set up a little bucket on the street in Saratoga Springs, New York. And my actually one magician friend, I saw him in Lake George doing street performing. And I said, how do we do this? He's like, oh, you just set up and start asking people for money. So literally I went there the very first day. I procrastinated for 4 hours, and I called every friend before I set up. It's like, so I didn't have to set up. I could just talk to my friends and ignore it. And finally I set up a little bucket. And the very first day I made like $35 street performing in Saratoga.
Wow.
Yeah.
No job in college. Decided to do busking one day. Who told you about the festival? Wait, did you say that?
So my aunt, she runs a marketing company. She's involved in the community. So she said, hey, there's a festival. Do you want to go do it?
But wait a second. Did your whole family know you did magic up to that point? Or
Well, I
was
did
it
it
like,
when I was, I've been doing it for.
I'm just, I don't know how much you're sharing with them.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, no, I did it for friends and family in high school
Okay.
and I did it every single
Because,
day.
like, how do you have the confidence to just go from reading a book and, like, making, learning some tricks to then, I'm going to go.
Well, I read hundreds and thousands of books of magic. So I've read a lot of magic,
Yeah.
and I've seen a lot of magic. So I wasn't a great magician because I didn't have the stage time, but I knew a lot of magic, a lot.
Yeah.
So when you just start getting the stage time, and at first you're not good. No one's good when they first step on stage, and then after you do like 1,000 shows, you're like, oh, I'm still not there, but I'm getting there.
Tell me about your first stage show. Was it a long time after busking, or was there?
No, well, so
what was
from
the
there,
transition?
I started handing out business cards.
Okay.
So I started making money in the street, and then people would be like, they'd book me for a kid's birthday party. So I'd make like $300 doing a kid's birthday party. I just did birthday parties.
Okay.
And then my first ever corporate show was a show for GE, where they had 300 people, and I just strolled around doing magic for GE.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was like, 300 people, the local group. And I look back on it being like, I could have probably charged like $2,000, $3,000.
Wow.
But I just did it because I didn't know. And I'm glad I did it. And then I started booking shows from the price range like $300 to $700. And I just did birthday parties. I did this. I did bar and bat mitzvahs. You name it, I did it. And I remember like I did one corporate show, probably the second one I ever did, where I did a stage show instead of walk around. Client books me. It's at Longfellows in upstate New York. And the client's like, I'm setting up and I'm doing my strolling magic. And the client's like, oh, like the show's going to be great, right? You've done this before. And I was just like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I got you. And
Yeah.
I did the show, and it was really fun. Like I have great, like everyone's laughing and hooting and hollering, and it was just like, it wasn't a good show because there's tricks I did that weren't as good.
Yeah.
But I did this one trick where I throw stuff over people's heads. You've probably seen the video. And
Yes,
everyone's like,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
they're
that one.
laughing so hard.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's great.
Since then, I've done at least probably 20, 30, 40 shows for maybe I think 20 shows with GE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are you getting booked for most often after this time?
So the thing is, I sometimes will do my own thing where, for example, I have four-walled shows where four-walling is I rent the venue, I'm selling tickets, I'm doing everything.
Wow.
I'm bringing the stage or have someone bring a stage.
Wow.
I set up the cameras, the equipment, the lighting, everything is me doing it.
What?
Yeah. So I've done that before. I haven't done a ton of it. But then
Yeah.
the idea is I'm covering all the costs, I'm taking all the risk, but then also every ticket I sell, that's directly towards me.
Yeah.
But I have a lot more responsibility where if someone else does it, they might just pay you a set fee, then you go into their venue.
Right.
But obviously there's a percentage being taken out of it, but then they do more of the work.
You know how like comedians, they go to open mic night?
Yeah.
Are there things like that for magicians?
Yeah, there's like the magic cat. There's tons of magic clubs around the world. Most of the time, if you're doing something like that, you're not really going for the money. Like when someone does a spot in LA, they're not getting paid the big bucks. They're going just to work on material. Where if you go to your own theater, that's you doing it. It's only you on stage. Where if you go to like a comedy club, there's 6 other performers and you're just there to work on material. Where magicians, if I'm doing a magic club, I'm not going to make my income, though you can get paid and do well.
Yeah.
You know, you travel the world, see things, make friends, but it's all, I think a lot of it is just to do a bunch. You could do 21 shows a week, you know, or like a couple shows a day.
Whoa.
So you could work on your sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what happened after that in your life?
I just kept on doing shows. So I just kept on just doing shows. I would do shows I did a lot of corporate shows, everyone has a holiday party. So I'm doing a lot of holiday parties. I'm just working as much as I can, booking the calendar.
How are people finding you? Just from
It's online.
mouth?
Just made a website and you hand out. So the things, the idea is word of mouth, handing out business cards. So like one day I'll do a guy's 30th birthday party.
Yeah.
The dad hires me and it's at a little farm where it's just like everyone walking around, hanging out, rent the farm in upstate New York. Everyone's hanging out. And then years later, he's like, oh, I have 2 corporate shows, one in like Rhode Island and one here.
Yeah.
So I'm now traveling doing a corporate show, but it's because I did a birthday party that led to that.
Wow.
So you never know what's going to lead to who's going to recommend you. Be like, oh, I had this one magician. And it could happen years later, like 10 years later, someone could say, oh, I had this magician.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of it is word of mouth, handing out business cards, your website. You could reach out to people. So you could send a pitch deck to hundreds of people saying, hey, I do a show. You could do college shows, cruise ship shows, theater shows. You could do comedy clubs. You could do theaters. You could do street magic.
Yeah.
You could do online videos and just post endless videos going viral and get paid that way.
Do you sell any courses?
Yeah, I sell a course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
I
teach?
sell a course Cube 3 where I teach people how to solve the Rubik's and how to do magic with
No
it.
way.
Yeah. I might be putting out another course with it.
You could come film it here.
Yeah.
You want to sit down and
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Why
But yeah,
not?
so I did that years ago, and it's a 3 to 4 hour course, something like that. But yeah, I've released that, and
That's cool.
it's in magicians. Yeah, so it's just a trick that I sell, and it's a very good quality. Like, the quality is really cool, really high quality,
sick.
really good.
So when did you always start incorporating your cube magic into the like shows you were doing, like stage shows?
I started doing mostly card tricks. I did rope tricks, everything, and then the way that I actually started doing cube magic is I just solved it. So I remember when I started street performing, I had a Rubik's cube in my little box, and I was doing just card tricks for my show. And someone would walk by, and a kid said like, "Oh, what's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's not magic. It's just a Rubik's cube."
Okay.
I said, "It's not magic. It's Rubik's cube." And they're like, "Oh, can you do it?" So I brought out the Rubik's cube, and the kid mixed it up, and I solved it.
Yeah.
And it got good reactions.
Okay.
And it was different than a card trick, which is that's the secret.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and I thought, oh, that was kind of good. So I actually started my busking shows where I started doing the Rubik's cube to get it to draw the crowd. So I'd have someone mix it up, and then I had everyone count. So that way you have the entire crowd all counting to 30 together. So 1, 2, and everyone counts louder. You have a little banner where it's like, you didn't count, sir, we got to start over. And then you look at the rest of the crowd, and you're like, if he doesn't count, we're starting over. And everyone then looks at the guy, and you get everyone engaged. But so then I started doing that, and then I added one Rubik's cube trick. So I did the solving and 1 Rubik's cube and card tricks.
Okay.
And then I added 2 Rubik's cube tricks. And then I added 3 Rubik's cube tricks, and then 4 Rubik's cube tricks. And before you know, it's like 7 or 8 Rubik's cube tricks.
Wow.
And that's how I get known as being the Rubik's cube guy, when really I just started doing it. And every time I was doing the show, everyone's like, no, we like your card tricks, but do the Rubik's cube. And it was so funny when I started doing some TV shows, everyone's like, I would pitch other stuff. I would pitch other tricks and they're like, yeah, I know, but we've seen the card tricks.
Yeah.
We want you to do the Rubik's Cube. And every time they're like, do the Rubik's Cube.
Wait, what do you mean the TV show? How do you meet TV executives? How are you getting on TV?
My very first
How did you
time,
get American Got Talent?
So my very first thing that happened was I was driving home after a show and I was pulled over for speeding. So they pulled me over. They saw my cards and Rubik's Cubes on the dashboard, all across the seat. I just finished the gig and they're like, oh, what are you doing? Are you a poker player? I said, no, I'm a magician. They said, do a trick. So I'm sitting there and I have my camera there and I was like, can I record this? And they're like, yeah. So I click record and I'm about to do the trick for the officers. And I was thinking, you know what? This could do the trick, but if I do the trick here, I'm going to expose the trick to the camera.
Yeah.
So I asked them like, hey, can I hop out of the car? So
can you hop out of the car?
Yeah, I asked them to hop out of the car. The officer's not telling me like hop out of the car. I was like, can I hop out? They're like, yeah. So I hop out the car and then I take my phone and I hand it to the officer and I was like, can you please record?
Yeah.
I asked one of them to move to the side so we get the lighting in. This is actually I have video of this, but I cut it out from the clip that I posted.
Drop the clip.
But I literally told the officers, hey, can you move here for the lighting?
Yeah.
For the light to see it.
Yeah.
So they helped me out and I cut that part out of the clip, but then I started doing magic for them. And it was so funny when I finished the magic, I hopped and I drove home. That next day, I have the clip that I'm watching, and I'm at my best friend's house with his family and everything. And I'm looking at my best friend, and I'm editing the clip, and I'm like, I said, Brendan, this is my golden ticket. I'm like, I'm going to be on the Ellen Show with this.
What?
Yeah, I said it right away. This is going to get me on the Ellen Show if I want, 100%.
Wow.
Or this is going to get me on TV instantly. I said that.
Amazing.
And
did you get on the Ellen Show from this?
I was talking about doing the Ellen Show, but I never did it.
Okay.
I have lots of friends that have done the show, but but so what happened was we did the clip, I posted it, and then the next day, literally in like maybe 5 hours, World Star Hip Hop ripped it from my YouTube and they posted it. So on World Star, it had like 700,000 views.
Wow.
Right away. So literally the day I posted 700,000. So I'm like, oh, this is going viral.
Yeah.
And then the next day, on my YouTube, someone posted on Reddit. So I started blowing up on Reddit and then it started going to my YouTube. And then the next day, the Daily News did an article about it, but they featured the police. They interviewed the police about it. So it became a news story.
Oh.
So instead of being a viral video, when news started covering it, it became a news story.
That's how you got press.
Yes. So it wasn't just a viral clip of doing something silly. When they interviewed the police officer, the police quoted it and they put it in the Daily News. And from there, news articles, news people started covering it.
Wow.
And then the next day I get a call from Good Morning America. And GMA is like, hey, we want to feature your video. It's like, great for it. So they featured it that day. Also the Today Show featured it. And it was on dozens and dozens of channels all across the world.
Wow.
Featuring the video. Chinese news station, Russian news station, everyone featured the video. And then after they featured it, the next day, the Good Morning America was like, do you want to come on the show? So they had a car pick me up. The car drove me down. I did my first ever TV spot, which that's a cool TV spot to do.
Yeah.
And then a couple weeks later, I did like the Steve Harvey show.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did all these TV shows. And then a couple months later, I did Penn and Teller Fool Us. And then a year later, I did America's Got Talent. So it all kind of like led into the next one. Yeah.
Did you post that video on YouTube initially? Like
the
yourself?
cop video?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did it on my Facebook, on YouTube, right? Just that.
Okay. So like multiple channels?
Yeah.
You were aware to like, let me also post
I did
on
it on
Facebook?
YouTube, but then like the person posted it on Reddit and then everyone started sharing it.
Got it.
But I posted on my Instagram, but the one that the YouTube one, but then everyone was featuring it. So it wasn't like when they're featuring a video, like they did spots of me too. So GMA, they introduced me, but then they show like 20 other magic clips of me, doing magic for friends, me at a bar, me doing restaurant magic.
Yeah.
And then they cut to the police video. And then I did magic with all the people there.
Cool.
Yeah. I've learned that when I interact with people, especially when I'm pulling over, there's things that you do. You put your hand on the, you just, but sometimes I haven't reacted well. And I've learned from that too.
Is there anything else you learned from like that moment of going viral for the first time that maybe other people from the outside don't experience?
It was a lot. Well, because when you're not used, it's such a weird thing now with people going viral where it happens for the very first time, you get like 5,000 views and you're like, 10,000 views, million views. You're like, oh my gosh. And then over time, I think people are so used to going viral that it means.
Yeah, we were just talking
like
about
I'll post a video on whatever, it'll get 10 million views, 15 million views, 5 million views. And it's not like, And I still feel that, but it's different. Where sometimes you get comments on TikTok and you have videos like tens of thousands of comments, and you're just like, the comments are hilarious. I love reading comments.
You're part of the like a different era of the internet where if a video got a lot of views in like one day, I mean, that was
but
really
I was part. You look like YouTubers where like Philip DeFranco or like OG YouTubers.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a consistent like posting or that. I was more just like, I posted a video, went viral, great, and then I would just continue. Because for me, it's always live shows. I've always loved the live shows. Like online is great, but nothing can beat an in person. Like if this was over Zoom, it doesn't beat having in person, right?
Yeah.
Because now it's an interpersonal. I could actually connect with you where I see you through the screen, but I can actually touch you right now.
Right.
Yeah, physically touch you. Whoop. Which is, so it's like that type of thing where I love the in-person connection. But that's why I just love live shows where, that's where my bread and butter is. That's what I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go from live shows to big stage shows.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you find, are you posting on Vine? Did you post on Vine?
I actually made a Vine and I probably posted like 3 videos. Okay. And I kind of, people are going viral on Vine and I did like 3 videos, but I didn't actually and I kind of stopped.
So you were just working all of the parties and like little
parties, events.
Yeah.
And I started doing like, I posted on YouTube here and there. I had an Instagram, and then everyone was doing TikTok and I didn't do TikTok for forever.
This is what I want to get into. Like, how did you find out about TikTok?
I'd friend, but there's a lot of other apps too. Like someone do this app, and then TikTok kind of started like really taking over.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, I'll post. And right away, like the videos did okay. And it was just, I did it because it was a different avenue, different platform, and I just posted because it was cool. And I post stuff that I like. I've had so many opportunities that could have gotten views and content and this and attention. And I just didn't post them. And I have so much content that I've never shared. I've recorded for the most part every single show I've ever done. So I have thousands and thousands of shows.
Wow.
And so I have content, but I just don't post it. Or pictures with people. There's a couple people that I've met recently that I haven't shared the picture with them. Yeah. Like it's like a big mega star, billions in views, like TV platforms, you name it, he's done it.
Wow.
Joe Rogan podcast, all this stuff. And I met him and I'm still working on a project that I want to present that he's kind of involved with it. So I don't want to post a picture with him until I finish the project type of thing.
Cool.
So that's something where I'm excited to share about it. He's like, hey, like, here's someone that I like and he's cool.
Awesome.
You probably think, you might like him or not like him, but so there's little things, all these projects in the works that I've been doing, but there's a lot of time and effort and you have to really commit. If you don't commit, it's funny. Everyone has great ideas. It's about execution where everyone has a great idea. It's just, can you implement and get the idea off the ground, get the people involved, you have to put in the work and then create it, And
do you remember what your first video you posted on TikTok
I think I did a Baby Yoda.
No way. I know the guy who made the sound for Baby Yoda.
Yeah, Baby Yoda. Baby. Yeah, I did a Baby Yoda. I don't know if it was Baby Yoda. I could check. It might have been I might have done a
shout out to a song a day man, Jonathan Mann.
I actually don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could scroll down in time to find it. Yeah, it was I think it might have been a Rubik's Cube art piece.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it was
Oh, you did a Baby Yoda Rubik's Cube art, like straight out for your first video?
I think that it might have been a Juice WRLD video. I did a Juice WRLD tribute.
Wow.
Out of Rubik's Cubes, and then but I forget exactly what it was. And I did a couple. Actually, I made a different TikTok that I posted, but I got banned.
Oh,
so
for what?
I don't know. I did like magic tricks and this. So I went viral for a couple clips, and I think I got like banned for some content I posted. So they actually removed my TikTok, so I had to make a new one. So I think I started TikTok before that. I made another TikTok and I started posting stuff. So I did a mixture of magic and I did art stuff, and then I just kept on posting stuff.
Cool.
But I had a TikTok before that.
What was your first viral video
on
TikTok?
Well, I don't know. I think like the Baby Yoda one did tens of 100,000 views, or the Juice WRLD one got views. But I don't know what. Yeah, but the one before, I think I did a video where I did magic with on the street where I just turned 100 to 1, handed it back to the girls, and I just ran. And that did well, a couple 100,000 views or something.
Yeah.
But then the Baby Yoda one was fun because I built the Rubik's Cube wall vertically, not leaning against the wall. So it's all these cubes stacked up, just completely vertical, a vertical rectangle.
Yeah.
And I did a video clip where I crashed into all the Rubik's Cubes. So I threw myself in the Rubik's Cubes. But I did a little skit where it's Baby Yoda doing the force.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to me doing the force back in the Baby Yoda, cuts to Baby Yoda, cuts to me, and then Baby Yoda pushes me and he throws me through the Rubik's Cubes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. How did you come up with the idea to like make the Rubik's Cube into art?
Well, I've been doing mosaics for mosaics, people have done them since the Rubik's Cube was created. So when Erno Rubik first made the Rubik's Cube, people haven't been doing mosaics with it. So I just made a mosaic. I've done little ones where I'll do like a little heart that big or a Christmas tree that I'll post on Christmas. I made one for my mom for Mother's Day.
That's nice.
I wrote mom and a little heart and I gave it to her.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I was like, I think that was actually the very first art piece that I ever like gave to someone.
Wow.
So I gave her a little art piece.
Wait, how old are you giving their art piece to your mom?
Maybe like 24 or something.
Okay.
And then I finally stacked up like 700 Rubik's Cubes, and I was going to build Rubik's Cube image that was massive.
Wow.
And then the next day I woke up from a nap and all the Rubik's Cubes fell on the floor.
Oh.
But then I did one with the 10 by 10s. I did 9 by 9s, maybe 7 by 7s.
What is this? What is it?
I did Leonardo DiCaprio.
What is 7 by 7, 9 by 9?
Just like bigger Rubik's Cubes.
Okay.
Yeah, like instead of a 3 by 3, it's 7 by 7.
What do you mean 7 by 7?
So it's 7 by 7 by 7. So you know how there's
What?
There's on a Rubik's Cube you see it's 3 by 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of that, just imagine more colors, more stuff.
Is it like a lot more difficult?
It just takes a lot more time. But I did it where I did an image with tons of these big Rubik's Cubes.
Oh my God.
And then I did that, and then I just started doing I did the one I did in America's Got Talent. So I've been doing them for a while, but then obviously they take a lot of time, and I do a lot of live events with it now. So before I was just doing it in my room, and now I'll do like a live build. So like I'll be at a venue and I'm sitting there in the corner stacking Rubik's Cubes. So I have my frame set up, I bring it, and then I just build art a lot. It's like a live installation.
Yeah.
That's so that's kind of fun to do that. And I like the in-person.
How'd you come up with that idea?
Well, I did magic with, like I did America's Got Talent where I did the live build in a trick. So for me, I would always do tricks where I would have mosaics during my show. So I would do a show while I bring out the mosaic and I do a thing with it. So now I just do the mosaic without doing a trick. Or you could still do a trick with it too. So it's just kind of doing a live installation, and it's a fun way to just interact with people. Different than magic where it's fun where you do the art and you just sit there building. And people will come up and talk to you, so you have a conversation. I could do tricks while I'm there. So I could do little magic tricks while they're watching me, or I could just do the build.
Yeah. Is it difficult to like make all those, like how long does those builds take you?
It varies. Some of them are quicker. If you want to do a small one or this, some of these might only take like a couple hours or shorter, depending. If you only have 5 Rubik's Cubes, it's not going to take forever. If you do 700 8 Rubik's Cubes, you could do 2,000 Rubik's Cubes. You could do one with 10,000 Rubik's Cubes. There's no like limit.
Wow.
There is no limit. So if you want to do one with like 100,000 Rubik's Cubes, you could do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you could do big cubes. So you could do cubes this big and do 1,000 of them, and you could do a mosaic bigger than this room.
Oh my God.
That could be, that you could see from a drone or space.
That sounds like a Mr. Beast video.
I actually I wanted to do that. I've been talking about doing it for a long time.
Have you been trying to get in contact with them?
I've talked to big YouTubers about doing a big collab day where you invite thousands of people to do the cube. But part of me, I want to do it all by myself. Like I like the idea of me going to the desert for a month by myself building.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, then you also got to survive in the desert for a month.
Desert. You can get parking lot, it can be whatever.
Yeah,
but it's just a fun idea of just sitting there and just doing nothing. Not doing nothing, but just like, you put on some good podcasts. This sounds, I've never done ASMR before.
Whoa.
I like when it touches the mic.
That's cool. So many things you can do with cards.
What? Yeah.
Oh. Bro, that's so smart to do like. Magic ASMR.
Right.
That's cool. Wow. Good. That was cool. Okay. Are you familiar with Chat GPT? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I've never used it. I mean, I used the AI creator for your face, but I've never used Chat.
That.
There's also like all the software where you could create images.
Yeah.
I've used them here and there, but I haven't used Chat GPT.
Yeah. They you can just like type a question into it. It will answer like a magic box.
Oh.
Like anyway, I put my guest is a magician. What question should I ask him?
Oh, I'm talking to computer
Bro,
now?
that's the questions I have for you.
I wanted to exit the matrix, not get into the matrix, dude.
Well, we've already talked about a couple of them. Here's one we didn't discuss yet. Ready? Can you tell us about a particularly memorable performance you've had and what made it stand out?
This is so strange that I'm talking to a computer now. This is like, what is life? I'm being interviewed by the robots. Yay.
No, I mean, I'm not a robot, right?
Yeah, but you're channeling a robot.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So weird. Yeah.
Hello, robot. I actually like robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for real though, what's your? I mean, it's a good question.
Make
though.
sure you respect your vacuums. And I'm being listen. If there's ever a robot uprising, they're gonna. I didn't say what.
Yeah. They're gonna get us. Our refrigerators are gonna.
No, they're gonna like me.
Oh.
They're gonna get along with me, bro.
Why?
Because I respect them.
Why? What does that even mean? How do you
Treat things with respect?
Yeah.
So like, I think with respect for whether it's driving, flying an airplane, interacting with humans, cameras, like treat things with respect.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying like,
Yeah, you know what they're like.
Idolize these robots.
Yeah.
And the all-seeing robot.
Have you ever thought about how to like incorporate magic and robots?
Sure, I know people that do that, but so I'll get along with them. But it's nice to meet you, robot. And I'm trying to think a show that's it's so hard to choose. It's real. Penn and Teller Fool Us was a really fun show because you're in Vegas for a week hanging out with dozens of other magicians.
Dang.
And I got to hang out with Penn and Teller backstage too, have conversations with them. But also there was dozens of other magicians that I know personally, and we were all just chilling in Vegas for a week. And magicians are a really fun group. We know how to have a good time.
When they invited you to go on Fool Us, how do they find you for that?
They saw, I think, other clips before, so they emailed me.
Okay.
Yeah. But as far as shows, that was a really fun show. I've done a couple international shows. So I've done shows in like Saudi Arabia, Germany, China, Europe. So those are always fun because you're in a different country. You get to meet different people from there. Did a show in India.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really fun just to go to these places and see. You get to explore some of the different cultures.
Yeah.
And also you get to do a really fun show.
It's cool.
So those are always fun, and there was different experiences. Did a show in Mexico for I think 12,000 people. That was pretty cool. Yeah, and that was like a big stadium show.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, there's so many that it's hard to pick and choose, but there's so many fun experiences. I also love the small shows. If it's like 10 people in a room, like this New Year's, I did a New Year's event in Boca Raton. So it's just 30 people, and I'm doing magic and I'm interacting, and it's a guy that I've known for a while now. We've been friends for a while. We've met in person once before. Yeah. But it was nice just to meet him and his family and all his inner circle, essentially, and just do magic. And I had such a blast too. And it's really fun. I have a lot of friends that know him. His name is Billy Carson. Right. And I told him like, hey, I'm doing Billy Carson's New Year. And a couple of friends like, I'm pissed. Like, I want to meet him. And I'm like, it's okay. So it's like, he's Forbidden Knowledge on Instagram. So you can check him out. But so it's fun just, hanging out and just doing magic and talking and having fun relationships, good conversations and just performing. Plus my dad lives down in Florida part-time, so I got to stay with my dad, hang out.
I'll take it back to social media a little bit. So coming off of America's Got Talent, and I mean, you finding TikTok now, so there's a couple of years. When you first started getting on TikTok, was there like some sort of strategy you were implementing?
No, just post.
Like, are you posting once a week? Are you posting once a day?
It varies. Sometimes I'll post every day for a week. Sometimes I'll post not in months. Like a month will go by and I won't post. And like I'm not as consistent.
You're a magician, so like, where are you getting your ideas for content?
Well, you could do comedy, you could do magic, anything you want. I mean, people go viral for simple. There's girls with tens of millions of followers who post like them not cooking, but like organizing stuff. Like they buy their groceries and you just see them put their groceries away. Right. Yeah. They make a pasta. They do that. It's simple stuff, but they have their engagement. People like the videos, so they consume them. Yeah. So for me, I've done, whether I do post basketball clips, I could post me doing magic, I could do skits, I could do whatever I want.
You don't feel any sort of pressure to like stay in one lane?
No. I like always switching it up. Like do something different, see how it works. Because you never know what people are gonna like. I would say, so before right after America's Got Talent, I had a lot of friends that were on America's Got Talent that started making content. So my one friend, Sophie Dossi, she's a contortionist. She did America's Got Talent. Okay. And she started posting YouTube. She started being a YouTuber, and she's now a massive YouTuber, massive creator. But I did a YouTube video with her where we filmed like 3 different videos. One where I tried contortion with her. So she did the big ring where she's spinning on the ring, and I tried that. And then we did one where we did egg smash, where we have a bunch of eggs, and some are hard boiled, some are soft boiled, some are just normal eggs. Yeah. So you smash each egg over till you get like a not boiled egg. Okay. So we did egg, but then she filmed, that was like when she first started, so she didn't have a ton of views, but the video did well, and she kept that, or I didn't like make the content. But it's cool to see someone that's consistent with the stuff, what they create. How could they just make stuff? I did some collabs and videos, and but I wasn't as consistent with it. Where you see people that are consistent, all of a sudden now they have this massive followers, and they could either do live shows or not because the YouTube videos do so well. Yeah.
Where were you living at when TikTok first started taking off?
Because TikTok was Musically first, and they got transitioned to TikTok. So I don't know. like I moved to LA 5 years ago.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, so I moved to LA 5 years ago. So I was in upstate New York, but there's always been a platform to post. You know, there's no barrier entry for a long time as far as online content.
Okay.
So, you know, I was around. I was in LA for 5 years, so I've been just, engaging. Moving to LA, I moved to Santa Monica first, and I moved to Hollywood.
No way.
So in Santa Monica was great. I was 5 blocks from the beach.
Yeah.
I'd ride a scooter every day, go down to just hang out, play basketball every day.
That's awesome.
And just travel. And then I wasn't really making content there, but I did like a video of me like doing I reacted to the winner of America's Got Talent, and I titled it "Loser Reacts to the Winner of America." I'm the loser.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and the video probably has like 600,000 on YouTube.
Okay.
And just me just watching another magician reacting to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so smart for content. Yeah. Dude,
so there's videos
infinite content loop right there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I don't prefer. I don't know. Like it's such an easy thing to do where maybe just post the clip without your face, which you can't. It's fun to see your reaction, but some of the clips, like I don't know if you need it. Some people just watch it and they don't actually offer anything. If you give insight, the idea is if you're an expert in your field or you know something about the clip that you could give relevance to. If you're just watching it, being like that was good or this he did this, and you're just repeating what he said, you know.
Yeah.
Like imagine if I watched all your podcasts that you've done and I just commented on, but I'm not really.
You're just sitting there next to it. Just
you just see my face there, just watching.
You're just watching.
You know, but like with the America's Got Talent thing, I've been through that process, so I could give you insight that you won't actually know until you've been through the process.
Are you selling that information? I'm just kidding.
Well, what do you mean? So
No, I meant like where are you sharing that information?
well, this was just on you. Oh, I was just
on YouTube.
Yeah,
like back in the day.
Well, this is me when I was reviewing the video. I was saying like, he's doing this trick. It's like, this is why he's doing this, or I'll tell. But I'm not giving away the secret. I'm not telling you how it works. Right. I'm not exposing anything. But I'm saying like, wait. This is.
Speaking of exposing tricks, what about that masked magician? You know what I'm talking about? Used to be on TV.
Yeah.
Do you know him personally, or is that you? Is that you?
No, I don't. I don't personally. I know people that know him. I've heard stories about him. I've seen the clips. You know, a lot of people don't like it. It doesn't bother. I mean, I'm not a fan for exposure for magic. I'm not like expose the magic. I think it's something where it does. A lot of people expose magic just to expose it for the views or likes, or that they don't have a reason to share it. Which sometimes, if you want to share a trick, sometimes it's good. You know, like if it's a beginner trick that's really simple, that's easy to learn, doesn't hurt any. You know, it's like that's how people need to learn magic. But obviously, if there's an intricate thing that someone worked on, if you put thousands of hours in this one project, and I'm like, hey guys, here's how it works. Ding ding. Why am I doing it? What's the purpose of it? Yeah. You know, it's always the why. It's not just, you know.
So are you just at this point, you're just taking content that you're making like from your other gigs that you're going to do these performances, you're doing Penn and Teller, you're doing America's Got Talent. Are you just, and then you're also making your Rubik's Cube art and you're putting that on TikTok. How long did it take you to get to 50,000 fans?
I think pretty close. Like right away, you start getting followers and it's just over time. You people follow and they grow. Yeah. So yeah. So okay. It probably within a few months or something.
Did you just have like the same strategy, kind of just posting whatever?
I mean, I post stuff that I like. So I post content. You know, and sometimes a lot of my content now, like it'll get 1,000 views, and I'm totally okay. Yeah. Sometimes I get blacklisted all the time. I'm really good at getting blacklisted.
You mean like shadow banned or something?
Yeah, I get shadow banned. I get shadow banned all the time. Very really common. I get.
You know what I find to get through like a shadow ban that works for me is just bombard the app with tons of different videos.
Yeah, but I don't want to say I like getting shadow banned, but I like, you know, when you do something just to do it and it doesn't do views, it's like, hey. But I always tell people that I post for my grandma. So like I'll post like videos of me playing basketball, and they're like, oh, what are you posting it for? Like I'm posting for my grandma. But I'm genuine too. Like my grandma and my mom watches my videos, my family. So for me, if I just make a video and one person sees the video, that I'm still happy. Yeah, I don't need anything more. So I say I post for my grandma. So
what would you tell people? Like some people struggle with that, and they're like totally. It's hard for them to post content to the internet and to see the reactions. They look at the views, and it doesn't have a lot of views, and they get upset. Like, what would you tell a person?
Well, it depends
like that?
What you want. Like, I mean, you could post a video that gets views if you want, but then again, it's not about like you should make something regardless of views. You should make it and put it in the world in a sense of like, I'm making this, whether people don't like it or like it. Like, you want people to like what you're doing, but you're gonna get a lot of mean comments. People are gonna be not like you for no reason. Yeah. Where like I've had so many times hate comments or this or that. People will say the meanest things, especially about matter too. A lot of people are like, this is fake. Right. Oh. What I really love, that a lot of people will comment, and most of them are wrong. 90%, 95% of the comments, 99% of the comments are wrong most of the time. So a lot of times you post a clip and someone's like, camera edit, and you're like, no, I fooled you. Yes. And it's so fun to read the comments when everyone gets it wrong. Some people might get it right, but when people post wrong comments, you're just like, no, you're so wrong. you're not stupid, but your comment is not right.
Yeah.
So that's like a fun part of that. But I don't mind getting like I was going back on Reddit for a while ago, and I posted on r roast me, and so literally I have like 30 comments of people just roasting me.
Wow.
I love it.
What is that, like rejection therapy kind of?
Well,
roast therapy.
Well, it's like you get negative comments and you get affected by it, but for me to ask negative comments and for the people to, and some of them are, they're generic. Some of them are cool for me, but it's like a fun little thing where you're just like, oh, that's fun. Maybe people don't want to be roasted, but I mean, I'm a big fan of like a dark humor. I love comedians. I watch so much comedy.
Yeah.
So for me, like I have a pretty good understanding of it, but I like self-deprecating humor is really good. I think the fact that if you can make fun of yourself, that's how you know you're that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't make fun of yourself, you're like, come on, you're a little bit dorky. You're a little bit funny.
Okay.
Not you, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're come on, you play with your cube and you fiddle your deck and people pay you to do it. So come on, don't take it too seriously, bro. But I like that stuff. With the negative comments, I don't get too much negative comment. I don't really get negative stuff because I don't really play into it, but I post what I like, and you know.
Yeah, cool.
So you have to respect that.
Do you ever try like replying to comments on videos?
Yeah, I reply on Instagram, TikTok. I'll write back.
Replying to comments with a video. Have you ever done that?
I actually know so many people do it. I should. There's so many comments that I get that I have like you have infinite amount of content on top of your content.
There it is.
You have infinite content. Everyone's giving you the ideas. So,
infinite content.
So a lot of times people will have to source their audience, or what do you call it, where you post a question to your audience?
Just asking your audience a question, bro.
Well, there's a name for it.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but you get ideas for them. So this is like you would
ask the audience.
Well, there's specific, I don't know, with marketing lingo for it, marketing terminology.
I'm trying to go slow, you know.
Yeah, but so the idea is you have all these comments of
Yes.
people giving you advice.
Yeah.
But then the problem is you also have an infinite amount, so you now have to pick and choose.
I know. I mean, speaking of which, you could just be like, "Oh, guys, today." Or you could even go back to your old videos and be like, what were they commenting? Especially when you were doing the Rubik's Cube art.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people. So I'm friends with a guy named Soup Timmy. He has 10 million on TikTok. I don't know, 5 million. But on YouTube, he has a massive, like, millions of subscribers. Yeah. And he does Rubik's Cube art all the time. Oh. So he does but everyone will comment like, do this person, so he'll do one for Messi, he'll do one for this person. So he's done a lot more art than me.
Wow.
But he'll just post and post and post. And he actually posted a fun video clip of me that's probably at 2 million views or something on his TikTok, where he's just hanging out with me in a room. And we're just, he's like, hey, here's my friend Steven. He's going to do this. So it's like, but he does all sorts of, his editing is great. He's a really cool creator. So he's kind of cool where he, and I got to meet him when we hung out, so it's like but he's getting a lot of comments like, do this, do this, do this. So now he just builds, and it takes a lot of time. It takes so much effort to do.
Do you remember what your first video getting 1 million views on TikTok was?
I don't know off the top of my head. Maybe a magic clip that went viral. I think that on my first account, one went viral. Yeah. But I think it was one of the Rubik's Cube art pieces. I did one of maybe like Charlie D'Amelio. Yeah. And Heidi. Right. No, sorry. Charlie and Dixie. Yeah. And I did a double-sided Rubik's Cube. That was actually one of the longest projects. That took 80 plus hours to do. Wow. 80 hours to do that art piece. So when you say the art pieces, I've done some for 5 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours, 80 hours. So I get like 20 to 30 hours into the project, and a part of me was ready to give up. I was like, oh, this is going to be a long time to do. And I said that I was going to continue it to build self-discipline.
Well, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you handle stuff like that and get over your trials,
You just have to do it. It's just going to be doing it, put on a good podcast, and just create. It helps to be inspired. Like if you're not inspired, it's hard to create. Like if you're not inspired to paint that art piece, you're never going to paint it. But if you feel inspired to build it, you're going to build it. So that one took 80 hours where I just sat and I did the double-sided mosaic. As I built the mosaic one side, I flipped it around and I took apart every Rubik's Cube to 800 and I put in individual little squares.
What?
Yeah, so I built the Rubik's Cube one side, I flipped it over, and then I unscrewed 800 Rubik's Cubes, and then I had to put 9 different, what's 800 times 9?
A lot.
Yeah, so that took 80 hours to do, and that was one where I did it and I posted that, and right away that got millions of views. Yeah. But I did that, and then I also messaged their mom, and the mom posted on Instagram, so she featured it. Wow. And that kind of went viral. Yeah. I think Dixie commented on the video. Everyone's like, they're not commenting. They have to comment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did that. And I did one of Jon Snow. I've done
Or like movies hiring you to do this for them?
I thought about doing some movie premieres. Like I've been in movie premieres, but I thought about doing the art at the movie premieres.
Yeah, that'd be
and
cool.
the pandemic happened, so there weren't really movie premieres.
Dang.
In person. But now, like I probably get back into that, doing live events with it. So
during the pandemic, did you find that you weren't posting as much, or like did you take a break?
I've gone through so many phases where I don't post and post, so it's not like that was directly affected.
You're like a seasoned veteran posting. Seasoned veteran in posting. Like it's been 10 years.
Seasonal posting.
Yeah, but I meant like you had a viral video 10 years ago.
Yeah,
like it's in your blood kind of now.
Yeah, but it's also I post this to post, so I don't, if the video goes viral, great. I've done videos, I do a lot of tricks where I do the needle through my hand. Yeah. So that video, I've had dozens of videos that one has like 8 million views, 5 million views.
Doing that trick?
Views. Yeah, I've had like hundreds of millions of views of me just shoving a needle through my hand.
Oh my god, are you on all platforms right now? Are you on Facebook too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not as active. No, I mean I used to Snapchat like my girlfriends back in the day.
Yeah, Pinterest or anything?
No, but with Snapchat, I would do more individual snaps to friends. Like I Snapchat my best friend back home, where I send him pictures of like, hey, I'm here to concert. He'll send me a picture of him and his family just chilling, doing stuff. So it's like we Snapchat, but I don't really Snapchat with many other people. I don't post in my story on Snapchat. I kind of like I don't ever use it.
Do you have a favorite magic trick?
No, I like the Rubik. I like the card tricks. I would say my most impactful video as far as me creating was my Kobe Bryant tribute. Yeah, I did that a few years ago, and that I think it hit me really hard because I'm very. I mean, people get hit by certain things, like when a person passes or a celebrity passes. A lot of people are like, and then some people like their world gets shattered. A lot of people that was like Robin Williams or different people. Yeah. Impacted them in ways where it's just like a part of you gets hurt. So that was one that really shattered. And living in LA, especially, if you lived in LA and you were here, you felt it. It was intense. A lot of people. It was one of the biggest moments of their right before the pandemic too. All this stuff led to one another, so that was impactful to me. So there's different things that are really when someone impacts you in a way where I think is when they connect with you. So whether it's like someone's dealing with a drug addiction and they're willing to talk about it, and then you're able to connect with that person in ways that you couldn't, if you're dealing with a similar thing. In that sense. So whatever people are struggling with, you connect with them, or whatever they're working hard towards something, you have a connection with them that's deeper than other things. So that was one that probably impacted me the most, was his passing, and then just everything, trying to grieve through that. How do you, really sad. But then there's other things where I like to create for like positive things too. For things where I like building to build and having fun with it. Yeah.
Very good. How do you handle your nerves when you're performing in person, on stage? Do you think about that ever?
It depends. Like when I first did it, I think I'd have nerves, but like over time, I would say I always said I was never nervous. I might have butterflies, I might be excited, but I'm not like nervous. Like every now and then you feel like, oh, I'm feeling it, because it's good to feel. You want to feel it. You want to feel that little, that little energy, that little like, especially if you're going to step into a crowd in front of like there's 1,000 people watching you. It's like they're watching me. Like you're the center of attention, which is I think it puts you in the same place as like the DJ or the MC, where you learn how to control a room, where you're the one when you play music is such a powerful tool that when you're playing the music, everyone is almost in like a collective energy where you're controlling the room, the collective consciousness. You're now the conductor, which is fun with the magic. When all the eyes are on you, when you're saying these words, everyone's hearing you. Everyone's now taking part. Whether they're engaged with you, that's up to you. Yeah. But it's such a fun place to be at that everyone's watching you on stage, which is a really cool part.
Tell me more about that. Like, do you know how to has that experience? Has that changed over time for you? Like your understanding of how to handle that?
Yeah, because a lot of times you just do what you can. You rehearse, you put in the time and effort. So when you get there, you've done it enough that you can envision what's going to happen. And it doesn't always go how you envision, but sometimes it's a good thing. So I would say it really depends on what you're doing, how you're engaging. But yeah, so I get nervous, but I'm not super nervous. But it's always different. Sometimes you're nervous. So like I remember one time I was doing magic for a really pretty girl, and I haven't shaken. And when I was 13, I got the shakes around my high school, where the very first time I was doing magic in front of my people, around high schoolers, my hands started to shake. Right. And I didn't get to shake for years and years and years. And I remember years later, I'm doing magic for a pretty girl, and all of a sudden my hands started to shake a little bit. I'm like, I don't shake in front of pretty girls, but I was actually shaking. Yeah. So like little things like that, you never know what's going to not trigger you, but like make you, Right. So, but I don't really get shaky hands ever. I'm pretty calm around stuff, so I'm not really worried about it. But I've also rehearsed my act enough that I know how to not mess up. It's hard hard for me because what an idea for magic is we have outs where I do a trick, and if I mess up, I learned, oh, I messed up this way, so I'll make a backup. So let's say I hand out my Rubik's Cube during the show and it breaks. What's my out next time?
I have no idea. What do you have, like an extra one in your pocket?
Yes, you have an extra Rubik's Cube in your bag. So now if I only had one Rubik's Cube and it breaks, that you're done.
Yeah.
If you not put it together. But if it breaks, guess what I have? Backup. Continue the trick.
Sure.
You know, so that's an out. Let's say this happens during the trick. You make an out. So now when I do that same trick, I have 50 outs. So people, and the thing with magic, they don't know where you're ending. So if you mess up, they don't know. Continue the trick. Don't stop. Continue doing your trick. They don't know what's going to happen. Make it up. And that's the fun part where you make it up. You learn how to recover. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any more stories you could share about like handling crowds and like working with that energy that you were talking about?
Yeah, like I would say it's always you have to do it in a respectful way. It has to be a give and take. Very important when you're on stage. It's a give and take. It's always it's a game of like ping pong with your mind. You know, you're going to throw ideas. You're going to read the crowd. You're going to listen to how they're reacting. Sometimes no applause is good. Like a lot of times there's a thing that I do where I get everyone engaged. Where I'm like, hey guys, we're doing this, and I'm doing the thing, and it's always so quiet. No one's talking. No one's applauding. Silence, and silence is so powerful. Wow. Yeah. So that's a moment where it's just no words. I'm doing my thing. And that's the way that, and when I hear the silence, that's the reaction. That's what I want, you know. And then sometimes there's, you know, you could do applaud cues. So a lot of times when you're doing a trick, I could end with my applause cue and they applause, or I don't have to, and I could just segue into the next thing.
What's an applause cue?
You tell the audience when to applause.
You just say, hey guys, applause.
Well, you could do it in a joke. So you could say like, oh, we could do this both ways, with applause or how you're doing it. You know, so that's a line. So you have lines where you could say lines, or you at the beginning of the show you could get the crowd hyped up where you're like, hey guys, let's see how the right side's doing. So the right side goes nuts. Left side, right side, left side, together, you know, and then now they're used to clapping, engaging. Yeah. So now when you do your show, and so let's say when you do the applause for the audience, you're like right side, you're putting your hands out. Left side. So now when you finish
Wait, is that like unconscious a little bit?
Yeah, people are aware of it, but yeah. So the idea is if I'm doing this and I'm getting applauses, when I'm finish my trick, all I do is this. And now they applause because they're programmed where, you know, anything can be applause. I could be, you know, or that, you know, whatever you want to do.
It's like Pavlov's dog, man.
That's like NPL. So neuralistic. NPL.
NLP and NLP. Neurolinguistic.
I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, neurolinguistic program.
Yeah, I said that, but it said
Yeah.
Okay.
NPL.
Well, yeah, where no NLP.
NLP.
You just said you said NPL.
Got me.
You see, but now you're programmed to say the wrong thing.
Dang it.
No, so like with that, like you anchor people, you could do something. And I have friends that study it. That would be considered a pickup artist. But the idea is you program people where it's the same thing with magic, where you're when you do that subconscious, you do that and then people do the reaction. Or you could literally tell people like, thank you guys. Or if I'm doing a trick with someone else and I invite them back, being like, give them a round of applause. So now they're applauding for that person, but now you're giving them an applause cue.
Yeah.
So with the silence or with applauses, there's so many ways you can engage the audience.
Ooh.
Yeah. And this is actually a fun fact. We were saying with the interaction, I've encoded things in my shows for years. So a lot of times, like I'll call a family member and like, what do you want me to do in this show? So like, you know, the bits where it's like on Jimmy Fallon, where like people will be doing interviews and they'll say words.
No.
So yeah, they'll do like an interview like a baseball player. And during the show, like Jimmy Fallon will tell them like, make sure you say the word rainbow color, you know, like sprinkles or something. Okay. And then during their interview, they're like, yeah, the game was great. We sprinkled in a lot of an energy, you know, so they'll literally like say a fun word.
Okay.
And then they'll play it on Jimmy Fallon and they'll show the person, this is the word they said during their interview. So during my live shows, I'll tell people like, do you want me to shout you out in some way? So I'll shout at my friends during my live shows, but not tell anyone. But I have a video that I'll send to my friend and it's just me talking to my friend.
What?
Yeah.
Like on stage?
Yeah. In front of like a big show. I do it all the time.
Give me an example.
Well, there's one where like I was talking to someone where I did Penn and Teller Fool Us and I do a gesture. Okay. So I'm doing a gesture and I know the gesture and a few people know the gesture, but no one else knows what the gesture is. So it could be something like just like, you know, like whatever it is. And I could tell them this is what I'm doing. It's a sign language. I'm encoding a language. Wow. But then it could be something where, for example, I build an art piece on stage and I'm like, oh, I'm building, your name starts with this. So you'll see the letters this in the art piece. And no one else knows why it's that, but you could do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or let's say I want to associate someone with a card. So like, hey, just so you know, the card that they're going to pick is going to be the 2 of diamonds, and that's your card associated with your birthday. So this trick is for your birthday, or whatever, like silly stuff.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I don't do it all the time, but I've done it enough where it's really fun to do.
Very cool. I really am curious about NLP, like, and anything in that realm is always really, yeah.
Yeah, I have books. I don't really. I haven't gone deep into, but I would say Tony Robbins goes a lot into it. There's a lot of people that, like, it's an interesting field.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's kind of like in the same realm?
Well, I mean, yeah, well, especially with when magic or just anything on stage where you're almost like learning how to be the conductor. You're learning how to, you're the one leading the group exercise.
Yeah.
So if they're having a bad time, that's kind of on you. If they're having a great time, that's also on you too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you like to talk about some sort of magic, different types of magic. I was trying to like
different
slowly get to the cool.
I mean, different types of magic.
I don't know. Is there a different type of magic?
Different types of magic.
Yeah. Because I know you've talked to me about some interesting types of magic. Oh, what's this?
Different types of magic.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Before we get to that.
Oh, we're not doing different types of magic.
No, you know what? I got something else.
Let me close the little.
Before we get to this, because I'm sure we're going to go off into Netherland with that. with this. Okay, before I get to this, I got you a little gift. It's right here.
Oh, wow.
Let's open that up. What is it?
It's a little Rubik's Cube.
Oh, does it not just like come put together?
No, it kind of is.
Dude, it is a little Rubik's Cube. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think this might be the tiniest Rubik's Cubes I have. I might have a smaller. No, I think this might be the tiniest.
Nice. It's going for the world's smallest. Look, it even comes with a little case. We've got like Rubik's Cube ASMR. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a micro Rubik's Cube.
Excuse me, don't judge my Did you say I have a micro cube? we weren't supposed to share it.
Oh, I know.
Steven's micro cube.
Who's calls it a cube? What?
A cube.
Yeah, a micro cube. That's what we're talking. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
That's my little.
I can't even get the camera. I mean, that is. Oh yeah. No, it's not going to focus.
Yeah, that's my little micro cube. This is actually the smallest Rubik's Cube I have.
Does it work?
I can make mosaics out of this.
Oh my.
Little tiny. I've made small mosaics before. I've done it with tiny cubes, but not this tiny.
That's insane.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. You can't even see I'm turning it. I just.
Yes.
Yeah, it's my little tiny.
So I mean, I guess it would have been better if it was already like mixed up or something. Wait. Do that again.
Which hand is it in?
It's the right hand.
Wrong.
No, the other right hand.
This is my left hand.
It's my right. Okay, wait. Did you well, you're hiding it in your fingers now.
What am I?
That'd be cool to like put the Rubik's Cube and like
you can't even see it.
Make a Rubik's Cube disappear from like a big one, and then like pull it out of their ear, behind their.
I have a video of making a Rubik's Cube disappear.
Yeah, but now you can like pull out.
You actually want to see the video of Rubik's Cube disappear?
Sure.
No, it's on my Instagram. I like how you asked if I made a Rubik's Cube disappear.
Yeah, like of course you have.
What? Well, it's such a funny thing. Like, have you done this? And it's like, oh yeah, I do that. Here's a trick that I came up with. This was the one that when I commented saying that everyone gets it wrong. Most of the people were wrong in the comments. So this is the Rubik's Cube disappearing, like you asked. You asked and you shall receive. You manifested this into reality.
Let's go.
No sound? Okay, that's fine. Isn't that fun?
Yo, what?
Isn't that fun?
Wait a second.
Yeah,
no.
You said make it disappear. It's like, yeah, it's gone. It's back into reality.
That was like incredible.
Yeah.
Because
the comments are great. Everyone's like, edit, and it's like, no camera cuts, baby. Come on. Who needs to cut? Who needs to edit when you could just do magic?
I thought you threw it away right there. Thought it was gone.
Oh, you thought I threw it out?
I thought it was gone.
I guess you could. You could actually throw it. I guess
the fact that dude,
you could just toss it.
Hold on, I have to watch that again. No, but you threw it away. No, you didn't throw it away. But it looks like you threw it away.
I didn't actually think about that. Yeah,
like like the towel thing, bro. This is insane, man. That's
so funny.
My head hurts watching that video. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Did you hide it in your hands? You got a secret compartment in your hands.
I mean, I cut my hands open every now and then, but no.
Did you put it in? No.
But I have a ton of like fun clips like that where it's all like really, a lot of takes or that, or just like different things where it's like kind of a fun way to do it, So you said like favorite videos. Like that's one video that I like a lot.
This is, I think, my new favorite video of yours.
Really?
Yeah. This is like cool. Pretty amazing.
Thank you. And then I'll send you this one too. This is a really fun one. This is a magic solve where I've done a lot. I think with solving magic, Rubik's Cube magically, I've done it a lot.
Dude, this doesn't make sense, man. I don't understand where you're hiding the Rubik's Cube in this.
How do you copy, share, copy link? Do people normally share clips of themselves on your show?
Like this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Play it in the background like this? Yeah. That's why the TV's there. I think I figured it out. I think I figured it out. All right. I think you have your hands at such an angle, it's somehow behind your wrists. It's the only place you could put it.
Or I could just have edited it.
No.
Yeah, you don't know.
Do you want my Wi-Fi? You go to Sleepy Rabbit 178.
Wait, Spectrum what?
And the Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Magician solves cube with no hands. What? Okay, solving it with your hands currently.
And there's music in the background, but it's probably better to not get
Okay, you just zoomed in on the cube. You've got your hands over the cube.
Yeah.
No way.
No fun. And everyone's like, camera edit. You're like, yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
what? Now I have to like go back and watch this 100 times.
Share with your friends.
Of course I'll share with my friends.
But there's like, I have like hundreds of different solves. So I have hundreds of clips of me solving Rubik's Cubes different ways. Like they're all different ways to do it. They all look different too. So yeah, so you ask what videos I like. It's always fun to switch it up.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So what advice would you give to aspiring magicians or performers?
Oh, I'll stick with magicians.
Okay.
I guess just to try. Like you're not going to be good when you start, or you might be good. I know magicians that are amazing who are super young and talented, and it's like wow. But I would say you have to just try. If you want to aspire to do it, like just to put an effort, try to do it. You'll never know. So I would say just try and see how it goes. Learn from the people that came before you. You're not the best. You're never going to be the best in the sense of there's always going to be someone who's better than you, but you don't want to compare yourself. You're good because you're you, and no one could be you. No one could ever be you, and that's what makes your magic special. It's not your tricks, it's you. You're the difference maker. I would say just love it, and if you like it, and the thing is, if you could do it and not have it be a career, it's fun to do magic just to do it, and you don't have to worry about money about it. You just like it, and if you don't, step away from it. It's also fun to have your magic be your career. To get paid to do what you love is such a blessing. Not many people get to do that. So both avenues are just as beautiful. They're both different and unique, and it's up to you to see how far you want to take it. And if you don't want to take it far, it's a cool skill to have, And I think be proud of being a magician. A couple of friends put like, be proud to be a magician. Proud. Where a lot of people, they think like, oh, I wish I was an actor, I was a singer, a dancer. Be proud of what you do. Like really take the title of magician. It's a really cool title, but also understand the weight that comes with it. A lot of responsibility, And so it's the same thing where, if you're a musician in this, like be proud of what you do, Can
you tell me a little bit more about like the responsibilities as a magician? What do you mean by that?
Well, think of like the level of you want to portray magic in a good light.
Okay.
You don't want to take an art form because magic can be an art form. It can just be a trick. You can make miracles happen. So it's really put some respect behind it, like care about what you're doing, put in energy, try your best with it, so treat it with respect. So that's when I say with responsibility, with respect and responsibility towards your craft. If it's your craft and you're good at it, be proud of that,
How do you come up with new and creative tricks and routines for your performances?
Oh, I would say there's two ways to really create magic. You could do method or presentation. So the method is I have this way to do a certain trick, and that's when you lay your presentation on it, or you could do presentation. So let's say I want to talk about my family growing up and someone taught me a trick. So that's my presentation, and then I could figure out what the trick is going to be. Or I could have a method where when I do this little thing shoots the thing across the room. My presentation could be, I once saw a ghost that appeared here, then appeared, whatever it is. Like I had this little thing where I saw it and it disappeared and appeared there. And then you come up with that's the method for it. It does that quickly, but then you can now make a presentation about it. So those are kind of the two ways that you can kind of create the magic,
Can you share a behind the scenes story from one of your shows or performances?
Oh, this is kind of a fun thing. I've done this a bunch of times where I've pitched ideas that I couldn't actually do. So I did this for a lot of times where I knew that the idea was possible. So I would message the people, whoever's booking, whether it's a producer or this or who's ever in charge of the show or whatever it is. And I said, hey, here's an idea. We could do this. And I've never done the idea before. I've never done it ever in my life. And I pitched them maybe 2 or 3 ideas. That's the idea with pitching stuff. It's good to have a plethora, like maybe one idea that you really like and maybe have some backups in case they don't like the first idea. So I sent them something like, hey, we could do this. And they said yes to it. And I've never done it before. So when they say yes to it at that point, you have to learn how to do it.
Well, can you share what trick it was?
I think on the Today Show, I did a trick that I never did before.
Wow.
Yeah. So first time ever doing it in front of an audience.
No way.
So I pitched the Today Show. They're like, yeah. So it's like, great. I have to now go learn how to do the trick. Yeah. And I've done that with a bunch of other shows. Yeah. I did it with Penn and Teller Fool Us. I never did that trick before. Like versions of it. But I've done some of this stuff, I did that with a couple other TV shows, a couple big shows where you kind of pitch something and then you just have to go do it. But I've done enough of magic and I've seen the trick before. Maybe my friend does it or this, or I know how it's done. done. I just have to now rehearse and practice. So with that trick I did on Fool Us, I then did the trick hundreds of times. I did it for friends and families, and I worked it out so I knew it was right to do. If I couldn't do the trick, then I wouldn't have done it, you know? Yeah.
Do you have any other stories like behind the scenes?
There's so many. Like I've messed up a lot. So I've messed up all the time. People always say, "Oh, you mess up." It's like I messed up lots of times on stages, practicing. You know, I've had lots of mess ups, but it helps you. You know, that's how you get all your outs. But I've so many different behind the scenes stories. I have so many cool shows. One of my favorite performances ever, by far, that tops almost every performance I've ever done. I was at a hotel here in LA, and me and my friends go out to go talk to girls.
Nice.
Right? Me and the boys go out.
Cool.
And we're at a hotel Chateau Marmont, which is like fancy, high end.
Sounds fancy.
Very high end.
Yeah.
Very so.
You know, it's fancy when it's got a name like that.
Very, but it's like a hot spot, and it's like really nice. And we go there, and we sit down, and we're gonna go watch. We're gonna go to the bar and have a few drinks, and there's this bar is maybe like six seats across, and it's like maybe four tables, and then the rest is like a restaurant.
Okay.
My friends go there. We go to the bar, and we're like, yeah, maybe we don't stay. Maybe we don't know if we're gonna do stuff here. Like, and we're at the bar, and then we're sitting there, and we're chatting. Like, do we stay? Do we leave? And I'm just getting drinks for everybody, and then I turn around, and then Dave Chappelle bumps into my shoulder.
No way. What?
And he says, "Excuse me." I'm like, "Oh, my bad." And then Dave leaves, and then me and my friends look at each other and be like, "Maybe we should stay here."
Yeah.
Like, maybe we could stay here. I'm like, "Yeah, let's get dinner."
Yeah.
So we just get dinner at the table next to us, and we're all just eating. We order a bunch of food at Bites, and we're just sitting there just chatting, and we're having a good time just eating. And then Dave and his friend go sit at the bar. Dave Chappelle and his friend, I don't know who the friend is, and they're sitting there talking. And then my friend looks at me, he's like, "Hey, like, you should go do magic for Dave Chappelle."
Dude.
And I'm like, you know what? Like, in the multiverse that exists, yes, there's a reality where I do it for Dave Chappelle, but I'm not going to bother him. Like, no, I'd rather just have everyone have a good night. We just leave, no issues.
Sure.
Like, no, you know. And my friend's like, "You should go do magic for Dave Chappelle." And I'm like, "I don't know." And my friend then he says, he's like, "You're going to do magic for Dave Chappelle." And he manifested this.
Wow.
So then he gets up and he goes to the table next to us, being like, "Hey guys, there's a magic show. Turn around and watch if you want." He goes to the next table. "Hey guys, there's a magic show. Turn around if you want." "Hey guys, there's a magic show. If you want, guys want to watch."
Wow.
He then goes up to Dave Chappelle and his friend and say, "Hey guys, there's a magic show." "Oh, you're Dave Chappelle. There's a magic show." And then just walks away.
Amazing.
So at
I love
that
it.
point, I have to do the, you know, he just said that, I can't just ignore it.
Yeah.
So I then stand up in the room. There's maybe 15 people watching, and I'm about to do the trick. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing a magic show. And then Dave Chappelle says, he comments like, "Oh, you're doing a magic show. Get on with it." And he actually comes up to me and engages me.
Okay.
So then he's like, "Let's see it." So I start doing magic for him, and I'm like blown away at that point. I'm like, "What's happening?" And during the show, I'm like doing my tricks. He's like bantering me.
Okay.
Like, he's commenting every few lines. He'll say a joke that's like everyone's laughing so hard.
Wow.
Because Dave Chappelle's like, he's not heckling, but he's part of the show.
Wow.
Yeah, he just became part of the show. Where he's
Amazing.
not engaging. I'm talking to him, and I did maybe like 20 minutes of magic or something. I don't know, 15 minutes of magic.
Sure.
And there's just so much fun. Then afterwards, he started asking me all these questions. He's like, "Where did you learn magic from? Who taught you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I know a couple magicians," because he's like friends with David Blaine and all those, you know, some of the people.
Wow.
So he was telling me some of his stories, and we were just like chatting back and forth.
Okay.
And yeah, so it was just a really great conversation, and it was cool that you get to show magic for one of your idols. And it was like I gave him a business card, and then we just chatted, and then we went our separate ways. But it was such like a fun experience where just like, and then it also re-sparked my love for magic, where I posted like, I moved to LA, not sure why I'm moving out here.
Yeah.
But then you have nights like that where you're like, that was a memorable night for me. And I'm sure he probably remembers the night like where I did magic for him. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
So for me, it was just such a fun, cool moment that, like, you know, it was like, oh, this is why I do magic. So that's a night where I'm not a paid performance, but I had the time
How
of my
about
life.
that? You could just walk into a place and be like, "Guys, I'm throwing a magic show. It's happening right now. Turn around."
Yeah, so that me was
cool.
such a powerful moment, and you know, little things like that where it's just like, and I've had so many interactions, whether it's even normal people, like a couple of like my best friends' little nieces or something, or my family. Like I have a little brother, little sister that are just born now. So my dad remarried and start popping out kids.
Wow.
And it's fun just to do little tricks for them, where I just do little tricks where something disappears, and I'll have like my little sister who's 2 years old just being like, you know, like normally she just like sits there like this.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-year-old baby. She's like, she'll look at you, she won't smile. She's just like, she literally would just stare at you like nothing. And then I'm like, I do a little trick, and then for like a week she's just staring at me like, you know, she lives in New York, so I don't see her a ton, you know. But then I saw her, I did the tricks, and she's just like, oh, do the trick, and I stopped doing the trick, and right away she's like, no, do the trick, do the magic. And so so it's fun just to get a reaction from a kid that way, or just like a family member at that, or an individual person.
Yeah.
It's such a fun moment, but it's also cool to do magic for people that you idolize or look up to. So I've done magic for like so many people that I've looked up to in my life, where I look back on it, it's like, I'm really blessed in that sense, where there's, people that I've done magic for that I'm just like, that's such a weird feeling that I've done magic for that person.
How do you start meeting these people and doing magic for them? And
it's all, well, you see them in the wild sometime. I think it's about respecting people. If someone's having dinner, don't interrupt them.
Get your friend to tell them it's a magic show.
People like being talked to, and they want to be talked to. If you walk up saying, "Hey, can I get a picture?" and click and run away, people don't like that. No one wants that. They want to meet you. They want you to talk to them. Maybe they're busy, so maybe not the right timing. So it depends on how you engage the person, a level of respect you have towards them. So a lot of times, maybe it's book shows. Like I did a show for Toronto Raptors for their holiday party. So I go there, and it's every NBA player from the Toronto Raptors, a bunch of their family, the coaches. It was also the Maple Leafs. All the Maple Leafs were there. All their wives, coaches, players, owner, and I just did magic for like 3-4 hours. But I'm going around, and I love basketball, so I'm meeting all the basketball players, just having fun doing tricks.
Yeah.
So that's one. And I've done all these events where like people will hire me just for any sort of party. So you go to the party. I did a magic show. Lisa Leslie was there, WNBA player.
Cool.
So I did, just chatted with her, just did magic. And so all these little things where you just meet people all the time, especially when you're doing higher end events. So you just go around. And so I've had so many opportunities where I've met so many cool people and done magic for them that I'm like, oh, that's a cool interaction,
How did you meet David Blaine?
I met him after his show in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So I saw his show, and then I went backstage. I didn't have tickets to go backstage, but someone allowed me to go backstage with him.
Wow.
It was actually the amazing Jonathan. If you know him as a magician, go look him up.
Yeah.
He's passed away, but he's an amazing performer, comedy performer. He's headlined Vegas for years, traveled the world, and you'll see him perform, and you're like, oh, he's really funny.
Wow.
Really, if you know his work, you're like, he's funny. So I actually went backstage with him, and I got to meet David, which I wasn't going to meet David. I met him, and I started crying. I literally met him, and I went into the corner room, and I started crying, just tears of crying, tears.
Yeah. Just the moment was it was so powerful.
Yeah, I mean, that's your big inspiration. And
or did he have like a spell on you and just made you cry?
I was just tears.
David Blaine.
It's happy tears. I'm not crying like, oh, I'm crying. I'm happy. That's your idol,
amazing.
So after that, and so for me, that was a big moment where I got to meet the person that inspired you to be along this path. And so for me, and then ever since then, I've talked to people, and I've had a level like I probably wouldn't cry when I meet someone now, depending on the person. Maybe I might tear up.
I see that though. I can understand it.
Yeah, but it's at the point. So that was like just a really big moment for people. Like, oh snap, I got to meet. And one of the cool things about being a magician is I've so many of my magic idols I know personally, and that's such a cool moment where you see all these magicians, and it's like, oh, that's my friend.
Yeah,
and you could go to like name 1,000 magicians, and like that's my friend. I've eaten with them. I've broken bread, so like I know all these people personally.
Wow,
thousands of magicians. So it's kind of this fun network of we're either friends on Facebook or we know each other very, very well, and that's such a cool place to be. When I've had thousands of people say like, oh, do you know this magician? It's like, yeah, that's my really good friend.
Wow.
Like it's like the joke where it's like, who's the most famous person on your phone? FaceTime them. I can say like, oh, that's the
can we do that?
But the meme where it's like, who's the most
now?
famous person? FaceTime them.
Yo,
if you want, I don't know, my mom or my grandmother. But in that sense, they do the thing where it's like, who's the most famous? And so with magicians, you can name 1,000 magicians. Like that's my friend, and yes, I could FaceTime them, and they would pick up.
Yo,
or call them.
Not kidding. I love that idea.
Yeah,
I might steal that.
Which famous magician do you want to call?
No, not just famous magician. Who's the most famous person in your phone that would answer from a FaceTime?
But most people would pick. Like the thing is, like if you call them. So for example, a lot of the numbers you exchange numbers with them.
Yeah.
But I don't really FaceTime them because I don't. We might have talked. We might have messaged back and forth. But I was a lot of influencers. Like there's a few hundred influencers who have 20 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
20 million. You know what I mean? Like you know them, but I'm not going to be like, bro, what's up? Maybe if I wanted to. Like if I wanted to text them, like do a show with them, I would hit them up. But it depends. They're all busy, so you don't want to interrupt them. You want to respect their time.
Yeah, then put them on a podcast.
But I've met lots of people. But then also you have like the Instagram DMs where I've messaged people on Instagram and I could video them on Instagram, but I'm not like, I don't have their number. But on Instagram you could connect with anybody.
Right.
So yeah, Instagram DMs is probably different than phone number. Yeah, but I communicate a lot on Instagram too.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right. How do you balance the technical aspect of magic with the performance and entertainment aspect?
Oh, is this a robot question? question?
Bro, this is Robot.
Wait, I've been talking to a robot for like an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Isn't that really great?
Why am I'm talking to a robot?
Yo, but it's not Robot, though. Like, I also went through and picking out good questions
It's
for you.
robot
Yeah.
plus Dom.
I mean, honestly, like, I wouldn't have worded it like that, but
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Some of these questions, but like it's almost the same question different ways sometimes.
you wanna talk about that book, don't you?
Not really. This is like a very special book. It's a very private book.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to show what's inside.
Very big book. All right, I'll keep you on that.
Yeah, I don't want to show what's inside.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a smaller version of this book that I have like the same stuff written in and done. But yeah, this is like a fun little. I think it's fun to have a big book, like a big. Well, I'll tell you. So the book, the front of it, this is just. So these just different stones represent your different chakras. So you have your lower chakra and higher chakra is your 7 chakras.
Yes. Tell me about it. I don't really
Well, it's just
follow
your
it so
7,
much.
You just Google 7 chakras.
Okay.
And find out. But that's what just the little stones are for. So that's like what they represent. The colors are kind of accurate.
It's cool. It's cool looking.
Yeah.
That's what I could take away from it, you know?
Yeah. But it's just
Where do you get a book like that?
at the magic store.
The magic store.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? What do you mean the magic store? What are you saying?
I don't know. It's like a magic store down the street from my house.
There's tons of magic stores down the street.
Anyone that you would recommend?
There's Mystic Journey bookstore.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could buy magic wands. You
Yeah.
could buy. There's a lot of magic books there. You could get little crystals. You could get sage. You get stones.
Cool.
Any sort of magical. They do tarot readings too.
Did you bring any other like interesting items with you?
Not really. I have a couple magic stuff. I have like these are magician books. This is one of my favorite books ever. Strong Magic by Darwin Ortiz.
Okay. So it's called Strong Magic.
Strong Magic.
Cool.
If you want to have strong magic, read this book.
Okay.
Yeah, and that just goes over. It's more magic theory. So this is not tricks. This is everything I said about the audience and this and engagement and how you dress.
It's like
how
the
to
psychology of magic.
How to structure your shows. How to convince your audience certain things. How to it talks about audience interaction, situational meeting, tools of attention control, directional misdirection, intensity misdirection, importance of assistance on stage, who to choose, the psychology of heckling, theorizing, challenging your audience, gambling, interrupting, screw-ups when audience nails you. What is timing in sleight of hand, timing and misdirection. It's like,
Because there's so many topics.
yeah, how to close your show, what props to use, theme your show, how to structure your show, how to get feedback, how to like a lot of.
It's like a manual.
Yeah. So this is all like theory, so that's like such a powerful, packed book. And then the other one I have, this is a really good book by Joshua Jay called How Magicians Think. And this is all talking about how magicians think. So if you want to go behind the mind of a magician, this is a really amazing book to get where he talks about like who are your favorite magicians. There's, find it. Yeah. Why do people hate magic? Do magicians get fooled? What's your most difficult trick? Is magic art? How did Houdini die? Why aren't there more black magicians? Does magic look different in other countries? What makes Penn and Teller so dynamic? Do you have magic students? What do magicians do in secret? Can the magic trick be too good? Is David Blaine for real? Why magic? So this is all just like how a magician thinks, and that's like a really fun, interesting book if you want to get behind the mind of a magician. And they cover everything I was talking about.
You said something there. You said, "Is magic art?"
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, it can be. It doesn't. I mean, it isn't for some people.
And also, you said, "What magicians do in secrets."
In secret, yeah.
In secret. Do you got anything to say on that one?
I don't know what he says, but yeah, I guess.
I'm asking you.
Oh, like
Yeah.
trick wise or what?
I don't know. Like, I guess everything's a secret. They're a magician.
Well, I mean, you plan your tricks, you do that, you prepare, but it's not like everyone does different.
I guess I was thinking like of another question I was going to ask you about like secret clubs and secret
Oh,
societies.
like secret societies.
Yeah.
Like are magicians part of secret societies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Dang. You just, yes.
No, yeah, no.
Illuminati's and stuff.
What?
The Illuminati.
That was a real society, actually. That was, I think, founded in 1776. Yeah, so it's a real society. It's not like a made up thing that people think. It's a real society that was created. Yeah, but like there's lots of societies that people join. That like there's lots of magician clubs. There's like the IBM, International Brotherhood of Magicians. You have SAM, Society of American Magicians. We have monthly meetups. You just go to a club and learn magic tricks. Cool. There's other societies that would be less about the card tricks and that, and there's a million societies you could join. Yeah. There's a lot of I don't want to say there's societies that are not mock societies, but someone would be like, there's a really funny one called Scam.
Okay.
Society of Conjurers
and Magicians.
I think so.
Yeah.
But the idea is they have a history of magic that they have, but it's their history of the world.
Okay.
So they have the history that you put together. So you go through and see when the society was founded, tens of thousands of years, how they've controlled and manipulated the world throughout the course of history.
Wow.
And they have their little history. What it's like, it's kind of
cool.
funny. But so like there's all sorts of fun things you could join, or magic clubs. Like there's one where you walk to a bookshelf and the bookshelf opens and you go into a magic club.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is that for kids that are like in middle school or something? Would you recommend getting that book that you started with, or?
Yeah, the Practical Encyclopedia of Magic is a great book. There's tons of other books that you could read that are really great
To get started.
Yeah, like whether you want to do card tricks or this, there's a million different tricks you could learn.
Did we talk about this? Yeah. What inspired you to start creating content? How did you first get started? I know we talked about
kind of like with the cop video, but I've always edited videos of me like jumping off a cliff.
What?
Yeah, like into water.
Okay.
Not like jumping off a cliff, like jumping into water. Like as a kid, you're on a boat and you go to I was in Lake George and you hop off a cliff and you.
Oh yeah, let me just hop off a cliff. I've never done that, not once.
Why not jump off a cliff? It's fine.
I'm gonna go do that.
Body of water, you're not too high.
You go first.
Yeah, just jump off a cliff. But that like I would film that. I would film me playing basketball in high school. I would just film little things and post. But I wasn't posting to be like I'm a content creator. I'm just posting because it's fun to post.
Do you consider yourself a content creator now?
I'm more of I would say magician. When people say, "What are you?" I'm a magician. I create content, but I would say magician. But then again, we're all creating content. So whether the content is being consumed on a stage and not in a video, you're still creating content per se.
How do you come up with new ideas for content, and how do you decide what to create?
Well, I would say it depends on whatever I want to do. Whatever I'm inspired by. So, for example, a lot of times I'll be inspired by an idea. Tons of ideas. Maybe I see a movie, and I watched Birdman the other day. Great movie.
Birdman.
And my cousin was like, "Watch this movie because you'll be connected to it." And I watched it, and I was like, "Oh."
So it was shot all in one take, is that right?
Yeah, and it's like an actor who's this massive superstar in these superhero movies, and then he's doing a project, but he doesn't have, he doesn't feel like a success anymore. So it's just going through that progression of like critics being negative towards you and what defines success. And it's such a powerful movie where, you see the transformation and it's a cool feeling. Because with everyone's career, there's always ups and downs. You have your highs and you have your lows. Sometimes you feel like a superstar. Sometimes you feel like you are nothing, a nothing burger.
Nothing sandwich.
So it's like you there's ups and downs. So with that, I would say whatever I'm inspired by, I take inspiration from movies, from music, from other magicians, from anything you could think of, books, stories. I have a book of spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's in it?
It's not I think it's a wizard. It's a wizard book.
Okay. You would.
What?
You would. Of all my friends, you would definitely have a wizard book.
Well, what's wrong with a wizard? Well, it's not. No, this is not a spell book. I have spell books, but this is more of a wizard book.
Yeah. Oh, it just pops out of nowhere.
A wizard book.
That's cool.
With magic wands, enchanted mirrors, and secret formulas, wizards cast powerful spells wherever they go. Enter the mysterious world if you dare. Yeah, it's a little wizard book. I think there are some spells in here. Yeah. Teach about alchemy in here. Talks about the magic circle, the devil's mark. In medieval times, wizards were said to be marked by the devil. Evil wizards had marks in the shapes of things: hares, puppies, spiders, even the footprints of toads. Good wizards have simpler marks, such as moles, blemishes, or freckles. They talk about druids, habit-breaking spells, tricks of the tongue, love spells. They talk about divination in here.
Where'd you get this book?
At the magic store. So there's bellomancy, which is interpreting the flight of arrows. Hippomancy, interpreting the sounds of horses stomping and whining.
To like judge how far your enemy was away?
I don't know, just interpret horse stuff.
Give me a scenario where you need to interpret horses.
I don't know. If you want to talk to a horse, I don't know. Go do some acid and talk to horses if you want. I'm not going to judde you. Sure. I might judge you. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little magic, but I have a pretty decent library of magic books.
I know.
Yeah, it's solid. I don't say thousands of books, but
dang,
hundreds,
magic,
if not thousands. A magic library.
Okay. Okay. How do you balance creating content and maintaining a personal life and schedule?
Oh, balancing is such an interesting. Your life is such an interesting part. It is a give and take. Like for me, I am really blessed the fact that I have time. Like I have so much free time. So for example, like if I wanted to do nothing next week, I mean, I'm celebrating my birthday for a bunch of days, but if I wanted to chill and read a book or do this, there's projects I have to work on. Yeah. I don't have to be forced to do stuff. If you want to chill and relax, it's also a good thing to do. Right. So I love the fact that if I want to go see my mom, I could go see my mom. If I want to go hang out with my grandma, hang out with my cousins, my family, just chill. Yeah. And there's no pressure. Obviously for me, if I want to work hard, create more content, be more active, then I got to put in the work. But it's also nice to not have to work, just to chill with family. Learn how to say saying no, right? I saw that in a podcast recently where it's like, say no, treat your time valuably, care about what you do. You will never choose money over time ever. You could use money to then buy more time in the sense of like, oh, this person can now help me organize my house or babysit my kids. So now I have more time with my wife. So there's trade-offs you do, but you're never going to say, I want this over time. You're always going to choose time, most likely. What's that?
Round of applause.
Oh.
Can you share any tips or advice for aspiring creators looking to break out and grow their audience?
Yeah, I would say it's the same advice that I would give magicians. I would say there's no difference in whether you're going to be doing magic or if you want to create. So I would say it's whatever you want to focus on. Obviously follow your heart, follow your passion. This is a little cheesy, but yeah, like don't do things that don't make you happy. If you're going to do something, put an effort and time. Don't do stuff that doesn't make you happy. There's no point. Let's say something gets lots of views, but you don't like it. Yes, it's good to build discipline, and it's always not about happiness. Sometimes it's nice to be disciplined over happiness, but also if you're going to do something, do it because you love it. Also, challenge yourself too. I think Mel Robbins said this recently, like once you challenge yourself to try something new, you're battling.
Yeah.
Because if you do the same old stuff over and over again, you get really good at it. And you know how to, the cheat codes, you know
That's
how to
right.
do it. You're not going to challenge yourself.
Right.
It's the same old thing. Try rock climbing. You never been rock climbing? Go rock climbing. Go skiing if you haven't been skiing. Play basketball. Go take a walk in the park. Go to the beach.
Yeah.
Or do something really challenging. Learn how to skateboard.
Okay.
Like all these little things that you could just do. And if you don't like it, that's great. But also, you're not learning. You're growing in so many ways that you didn't know.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, Steven, we're gonna segue into doing some magic tricks now. I know
We're doing
got
tricks?
Yeah.
Let's do some magic. Yeah.
Okay. Any
You want to catch it for me?
catch it?
Yeah, catch it.
Okay.
I must knock your camera
Okay.
over.
Got
Mix
it.
it up for me.
Okay.
Yeah. You could do it on your camera so they can see it too.
I
Or
got
you're
it
doing
on the wide.
Oh, nice. Wide shot.
Yep. It's pretty mixed up, man.
Yeah. You want to hand it back?
Yes.
And we'll go for a quick challenge. How fast should I solve the Rubik's Cube?
I don't know if I can.
You just throw it, then when you catch it.
Yeah, of course.
How fast should I do it?
10 seconds.
Okay, when I say go, do you want to count for me?
Sure.
It's a pretty good mix up. That's a pretty good mix up. Okay. Okay, ready, set, and go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Keep on counting. Don't stop. Yeah, go.
Zero.
Keep on going. Keep going.
0, 1, -2, -3.
Yeah, so like
All
13
right,
seconds.
13 seconds.
Yeah.
That's
good. It's not magic though. It's just what is it?
that's I don't know.
It's skills, algorithms.
Yeah.
So not magic. Just anyone could do that. Anyone could turn the Rubik's Cube and practice it and then do it how they want to, right? Yeah. So it's not magic. It's just skill. It's just studying the Rubik's Cube, learning how to solve it. We'll do the magic part of the Rubik's Cube. You want to see the magic part?
Sure.
Okay, so we'll do it so you get to see that, and then you could guess how this works, but not yet. So
Okay. You got a bag.
yeah.
You mixed up the cube. You put it in. Can you show me before you put it in there? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're gonna go mix it. We're gonna put it in less than a second if you reach in for mixed up.
Wait a second. I don't want to even cut the camera because that doesn't
Right.
seem possible.
Any guesses how I do that?
There is a second Rubik's Cube already in the bag.
No.
Okay. Wait a second.
People say I'm squeezing it, but no, it's empty. You could.
What?
Yeah. You could,
Wait, what?
right. And people always want to look inside. I don't let people look inside, but I'll show you guys since I'm nice. You can see that it's.
No. What? Yeah. Wait a second. It took you 13 seconds to do it, and then you stuck it in a bag, and
That's the magic part.
my head. You're breaking my brain a lot in this episode.
But you could even see it inside. So
Yeah. It's mixed up in the bag right now, Steven. Come on.
So you go mixed up. I see. Back to solved.
No.
I'm good at it.
No way.
People always like, oh, like you're. No, that's why I'm good. That's why I do what I do.
Come on.
'Cause I'm good at it.
Okay.
So if it's solved, if I snap again, it goes completely solved. Back to mixed up. All right. So you see it mixed.
Wait. Okay. I'm going to keep this camera. Solved.
Unsolved.
Oh, yeah.
Solved. Unsolved.
Dang, that's good.
Solved. You don't trust me. I feel like you hesitate. You actually don't believe it's solved.
No way. What?
Right? Isn't that how it works?
That's amazing. That was incredible. What the heck, man? That was insane.
Yeah. So, but you could see it, and if you actually just squeeze it for a moment, I'll do so you can see. If you just give it a little squeeze, solve it by squeezing.
Hold on, man. You're hurting my head. These are those sound bites we were talking about. All right. Name something that must be magic.
Oh, must be magic. Oh, your smile.
That's nice.
I don't know. I don't know. Everything to kids, everything is magic. For a kid, you don't need an explanation. You just believe in magic. So if it makes them disappear, the kid's like, oh, you just do magic. You make it disappear. They don't need a method. They just think, oh, he just made it disappear. That's magic. Duh. Right? And then with adults, we learn about the world. We have all these preconceived notions.
Yeah.
So you think things are real. Like if I'm sitting there, you're going to assume this is a real cup.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to assume that it's not a half cardboard cutout cut. You assume this is a real cup when really that's how we trick you because you make assumptions. Kids don't make assumptions.
They just be like,
they just are. They just see it. So that's when everything's magic to them. So for me, I see the world with magic goggles. I have magical little goggles that I have that, like that they say when you want to watch a trick, I see it from a magician's perspective.
Yeah.
But I see everything as magic personally. So that's like a fun place to be in where everything's magic to me, may not be to you, but that's how I feel about the world, And everyone has their own way of viewing the world through their own lenses.
Cool.
Yeah.
Steven, where can people find you online?
They could find me on Brundage Magic, or my TikTok is Steven Brundage Art.
Okay.
Brundage Magic is my Instagram. You search Steven Brundage. I have a website, so I have videos on my website. You could email me. I also have my form. So if you want to fill out a form for book me for an event, you just go to the website and say, hey, here's the event, and I'll say, great, I'm free that date. Book me, and then you book me for events. I also am starting to do more like brand deals or like live things. So it's like if you have an idea or want to collab, message me.
Cool. Thanks, Steven.
Thank you for having me, buddy.
Yeah.
I had so much fun today.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
Good, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I forgot to hit record.
Wait, really?
No.
You're joking?
I was joking. That's my joke. That's how I end the show.
So funny.
How should I end the show? What do you think?
I could undress.